Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Unquestionably Raw. And we are going to continue our team previews tonight with the Detroit Pistons. Joining me, I've got Gonzo and I have Lance. So I'm going to go to Gonzo first with this one. So let's start by talking about the Pistons and their depth chart. Who are the starters and some of the key guys you think will be off the bench for them?
The key starters easily it's going to be Andre Drummond, going to be Reggie Jackson, the development of Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Those are going to be the three main guys, and the Morris brother. I think, and I don't like I say the Morris brother because a lot of times I don't know which one it is. Marcus Morris, because Marquise on Washington, I think. But yeah, Marcus Morris. Those are going to be the main starters. Obviously, we know that. The question mark is going to be the bench. Who are going to be the key contributors off the bench? And I'm going to be honest with you about something. I don't see very much improvement from last year. Stanley Johnson, obviously, he might be one. Boban Marjanovic, I think he might be one. Ish Smith, good point guard, very streaky, can't shoot really well, but I think he can be a good backup, feasible if anything. And those are really the key components to the bench. I don't see a whole lot that Detroit has done to consider themselves as a playoff contender. I don't see enough improvement. I honestly don't.
Very good points. Lance, what about you?
Yeah, as far as the starting lineup, I agree. And also, man, so me and Gonzo were talking in the pre-show, and we were just saying that none of the moves they made really stuck out to us. If anything, they just have to build with what they already have, and they made key upgrades like getting Lure, someone to come off the bench and maybe spot up, hit a couple threes. I don't really look at their roster and nothing really great sticks out except for, of course, Drummond. I think Caldwell-Pope is going to get a lot better. He needs to bring up his 3-point percentage. And then we'll see if Bullock can actually stay healthy because he's actually a capable 3-point shooter as well. And we know how Van Gundy likes to play spread out and just have the big man down there and then kick out for threes. So we'll see if they can live up to that and get somewhat close to that Orlando offense that was once coveted.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you guys both hit it on with the starters. It's going to be the same as last year. I think with the starting lineup though, the key. Drummond, the continued improvement of Drummond is going to be key, and it'll be interesting to see what Tobias Harris can do this year. Is he gonna improve, or is he who he is? And then we know you're gonna get out of Reggie Jackson on the bench. Obviously, you got Stanley Johnson. He's probably going to be their best player off the bench, like you said, Lance. John Lure, good spot up 3-point shooter coming over from the Phoenix Suns. And then you'll have a little battle at point guard, I think, between Ray McCallum and Ish Smith. I do like Ray McCallum, but so it'll be interesting. He's a better shooter than Ish Smith, so it'll be interesting what Stan wants to do with that. And we all know Stan does get the most out of his guys, so we'll see. And I think that's a good segue into our second question. Gonzo, expectations for this season after being the 8th seed last year. You think they can surprise anybody in the East, improve on that?
If I was the Detroit Pistons, I would expect to be in the playoffs, but chance of surprising anybody in the East, no way, not a chance. There's too many teams improve. Too many teams improve. I was talking in the pregame show with Lance, the pre-show. I was talking to Lance, and we were talking about the teams that improve. First of all, Cleveland's number one. We know that. We got Indiana. We got Toronto. We got the Bulls, Milwaukee, Atlanta. Not a lot of improvement, but you still have Schroeder, Millsap, Korver. You got some young guys in the mix. You have Dwight Howard. So you got something that you can work with in the East. 6. You probably got Milwaukee at like a 7 seed and 8th. Right now, I would have to say Orlando has improved more. Orlando has improved. Yep. Even Philadelphia, let's be honest. Philadelphia, talent. Even they have improved.
Philadelphia improved the most of anybody in the Eastern Conference. Not going to mean playoffs necessarily, but
they've improved. Up Simmons. And then we got to look at even the Hornets. Like they could still probably, if they play well enough, they can make it to 8 spot.
And they get Gilchrist back this year.
See, and that's where my concern goes to Detroit. I don't think they made enough improvements to even slide into an 8th spot because you got 3 or 4 different teams who could possibly slide in and take that 8th seed.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see them going back to the playoffs again. So surprises, no, not at all.
Nope. What about you, Lance? Do you think this team can do anything this year?
I still think they can make the playoffs. I don't know if they'll make a significant jump because, I mean, you just got to – with this team, I think it's going to be more so of building off of what they already had than getting new pieces. And I trust the coaching staff. And I think Reggie Jackson's going to make a jump this year. I'll talk more about that later. But I think a team of Drummond and Jackson, they can't miss the playoffs. Like I think they'll stay – worst case scenario, stay 8th seed, honestly, but maybe get 7th, maybe 6th. But I don't really see them making a big jump. I just can't see them missing the playoffs, unless there's injuries, like significant ones.
I actually think this team's going to improve on their 8th seed. I know over the summer I talked about it. I had them like as high as number 2. I know this is before teams made, before free agency, but I still think they could be 4 or 5, especially if Drummond takes another step forward. That's going to be huge. KCP, if he can start making threes consistently, that'll be huge. The improvement of Stanley Johnson. So they've got some things they could really build on if these guys improve. Obviously, Tobias Harris, another one. With Morris and Reggie Jackson, you know what you're going to get. So I think they could be as good because they're going to be good defensively. They're going to be very good defensively. I think offense is going to be can Stan play that inside-outside basketball that he likes to do, with that, like he did in Orlando with Howard and all those shooters. I think that's going to be really interesting to see if they can do that with the consistency from the outside. And like you said with Reggie Bullock, very capable three-point shooter when he's open. Little undersized for a 2 guard at 6'3", but can he defend? We'll see. So I think this is another good segue there into our third. Gonzo, three keys that could make or break the Pistons season this year.
My first thing I'm going to say is the one thing that can make or break this season is bench play. I think that's the most important. We know that starters can play. We saw that. They need bench help. Can these guys step up? Can Stanley Johnson get better? Can Ray McCallum come in and contribute? Can Ish Smith come in and contribute? Can John Lure come in and contribute? Bench players, 1. Number 2, free throw shooting, especially for Andre Drummond. Can he knock down 65 or 70% of his free throws? Can he at least get close to 65% of anything from free throw shooting? That's 1. Free throw shooting in general. And last but not least, and I want to say this, Reggie Jackson maintaining his composure under pressure. That can make or break your season. Your point guard is your unquestionable leader on the floor. You got to maintain your composure playing against teams like Cleveland, playing against teams like Indiana. You're going to need that because the moment he decides to go into a rant, he says anything that might get him in trouble, he can smirk the wrong way. The first thing to do is give him a tech, and it's going to contribute to helping the other team win. So he has to maintain his composure and just grind it out. That's the best way to be.
What about you, Lance? 3 things.
So I think we're going to have to see a jump with Stanley Johnson's play. I know he didn't really get a lot of minutes last year, but he's a rookie, so I understand that. But I think he's going to get about maybe 6 to 8 more minutes a game. I think he was somewhere around 23, 25 minutes, I believe. I want to see a jump in his game. We need better 3-point shooting so it can make sense of the offense that Gundy wants to play. And then, with free throw shooting, man, like, I'm sorry, but what did 34%, 36% Drummond shooting? Yeah. I mean, that's just,
I think you had the worst. I think this was the worst all-time season ever
trash.
For a shooter. Like, that's
I know we're not supposed to talk down, but like that's just unacceptable. I'm sorry.
And the thing is with him, when you watch him shoot, I know I say this all the time, but his form is not broke.
Right.
When you watch him shoot, he has good technique. It just doesn't ever go into the basket, which tells me it has to be. It's got to be a. It has to. Same thing with guys like DeAndre Jordan. He shoots a good ball too. It just doesn't ever go in. It makes no sense. And I know these guys make shots in practice. I don't like when people, he needs to practice. He does practice his free throws. Just can't make them in a game. It's mental.
But
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say to piggyback off of what Gonzo said about Jackson. Isn't it funny how he's kind of like Westbrook, but just not as great a player as Westbrook? Just the same mentality. Like he has a killer instinct, but I mean, you just got to calm it down. You got to calm the rage down, like with this play.
Yeah.
So yeah, I expect big things from him. That's all I'm going to say for now.
Oh yeah, I think absolutely. For my three things, one, I'm gonna go with shooting because we know they can score inside. But I think shooting is going to be the big thing, and obviously KCP, Reggie Jackson, Tobias Harris, Morris, consistent 3-point shooting in that starting lineup. Off the bench, you got Lure. Can Stanley Johnson make a jump shot? So when he's open, so I think, and he'll get minutes with those starters, so he's going to have to be able to make outside shots. I think that's especially in a Stan Van Gundy offense. Shooting is key, so they got to be able to make threes. If you can't make threes, you can't win in the NBA now. It's just a 3-point shooting league. Two, like Gonzo said, the bench. We know the starting lineup is good. They've got a really good starting lineup, good defensively, but I think the bench, we just don't know what we're going to get from the bench this year, so that's going to be another key. And I think I'm going to go third. I know you guys touched on free throw shooting, but I'm going to go the development of the young guys, Pope, Drummond, Tobias Harris. I know I keep stressing this. Stanley Johnson. And then we haven't talked about the rookie, Henry Ellenson. I don't think he'll see much time this year, but if he can be a stretch four, knock down some open threes because he shoots it really well, then maybe he can get some time in there. I don't know how he's going to be able to fare defensively in Stan's lineup, and we know we saw how it was with J.J. Redick in Orlando.
Yeah, it took a while.
Yeah, he had to learn to play defense. So, we'll see what Henry Ellenson can do because he's got a lot of talent on the offensive end of the floor, 6'10", can shoot, put it on the floor. So it's going to be, it'll be really interesting to see what kind of development he does understand, if he teaches him how to play the NBA game. So now Gonzo, fourth question here. So Drummond last year leads the league in rebound, 14.8. Do you think he'll be able to take another step forward on offense and really lead this basketball team?
I don't know, and the reason why I say this is because in Orlando, we've always wanted Dwight Howard to develop an actual post game. In Orlando, let's be honest, he's never really developed a post game. He's always been an alley-oop dunk kind of guy. Can run the floor on fast breaks and make easy dunks and do like a little turnaround shot here and there, but he's never really developed the footwork in the post game. I don't even know if Stan Van Gundy is even going to require Andre Drummond to learn those set of skills because in Orlando he's never had to have Dwight Howard to learn that with the system.
But you know what I think with Dwight, being in Houston, living there for a little bit, when and hearing everything coming out of Houston with Dwight Howard, he doesn't want to work. And by all accounts, for everything I've heard, Andre Drummond has a fantastic work ethic, where Dwight Howard does not. Because Hakeem Olajuwon was frustrated. He's like, this guy just doesn't do what I tell him. Send Andre Drummond down there to Houston. Let him work with Hakeem.
Maybe, but you got to look at this too. He shot 30-something% from free throws, right? He obviously didn't want to work on those, so it makes it hard for me to believe he's going to actually work in this post game. I'm kind of stuck on this, and I think he does have the potential to be better. I think his mindset is totally different than Dwight Howard's. I give you that.
Yes.
If Stan Van Gundy's willing to push him in that direction, I think he's willing to accept getting a post game.
See, I think you can do that with him because he doesn't have that same mentality as Dwight's a baby. He doesn't like criticism.
Well, we saw what Anthony Davis what he did against Drummond last year. So I don't know. I like Drummond. He's so limited to me. Like, I mean, those rebound games that he had though were crazy. I think he's so limited. I don't really know if, like Gonzo said, if they even necessarily need him to like improve vastly to enough to, I guess, to be considered one of the better offensive bigs. It's just you compare him to like DeMarcus Cousins, Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns hasn't even been in the league that long, and I can already consider him like a lot more versatile than Drummond. And I like Drummond. I love any big that's gonna fight and get rebounds because I don't think a lot of bigs have that mentality anymore. But I just think he's so limited, man. And I mean, I know it sounds so simple, but if you can only hit 34% of your open free throw shots, like I don't know what you can do when a man's actually backing you, like in your back, one arm on your back. Like, what are you gonna do? And I know that sounds like maybe like a hot take or something, but it's just from what I've seen from him, he's just so limited. Unless he's just has something that we haven't seen that he's been working on, in the offseason, then maybe. But I just don't see him like. I still see him getting a lot of rebounds. I don't see him actually making a difference offensively besides putbacks.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess we'll find out this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're going to find out this year what he did in the offseason to work on his post game, because that's obviously the big thing on the offensive end of the floor, post game and making free throws. We'll see if he can get it. Shoot, if he gets his free throw percentage this year up to 50, that'd be an improvement. That's better than 36.
Yeah, because even if he can just be a decent post game player, that'll cause double teams where they have, so he can kick out and actually get these 3-point shooters even more open.
Mm-hmm.
Because at least at one point, Dwight Howard, I mean, he was. You could argue that he was the best center in the NBA at one point, and I don't know if I can make that. I don't think I can make that same argument with Drummond. I'm sorry.
No, all Drummond needs to do right now, get you a nice little jump hook going right, going left. Mm-hmm. Get that down first. If he can get himself he'll add 4 points a game to his average if he gets that down. You get your free throw percentage up to 50 this year. He'll average five more points a game just doing that. And what did he average last year? 14, 15? He could be 20 and 15 a game.
Right. Just to get 17 last year.
17? Yeah, he could be.
But that's still decent considering his limited offense. That's still really good.
If he gets a hook going right, going left with both hands and ups his free throw percentage, you're looking at a guy 22 a game.
Yeah.
Which I think is possible. And we'll find we got training camps open in 2 weeks. Preseason starting, so we'll get a look at what he can do this year.
He can't get any worse at free throw shooting. He can't. So he can only go up from here.
No, he can't get worse. I think he's hit rock bottom as far as free throws go. Hopefully, but I mean, I know he had that thing was it last year, 2 years ago when he was the little celebrity chick he was messing with.
Was that Ariana Grande? I forgot.
I don't know who it was.
I think it was Jeanette McCurdy, the one who plays on.
I think
that was 2 years ago.
Yeah, maybe that really got into his. I don't know. I don't know.
I think
that's a possibility.
I don't want to pronounce the name.
That's it. I think that's a possibility. Maybe that was just too. He couldn't handle that.
I'm impressed, Gonzo.
Yeah. So here comes the best part of. Here comes always the best thing at the end here. Gonzo, one bold prediction for the Detroit Pistons this year.
No playoffs.
Okay, that's big. That's big. Lance.
Okay, so remember when I said Reggie Jackson's going to be significantly better? I think they're going to have 2 All-Stars this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think Reggie Jackson's going to take a big step up. I mean, I love his mentality. Like, we can easily make light of people that are too emotional and stuff, but I just love the fire because, I mean, not many players have that anymore. But I think him and Drummond will be the 2 All-Stars.
Drummond and Reggie Jackson.
Yeah, I think Reggie's gonna be All-Star, man. Hey, if Drew Holiday can get an All-Star spot, so can Reggie Jackson.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
Time out.
Go ahead, Gonzo. Say it.
There weren't point guards like Kyrie Irving in the East yet.
Yeah, I know. and Rose was injured. I'm aware.
Yeah,
but still, he's got that All-Star. I'm gonna hold that against him. So I'm gonna get Reggie. At least we're gonna get him one this year.
Yeah. There you go. I'm going to make this prediction here. I'm going to say, like we were just talking about Drummond, and I'm going to predict 21 and 15 for Drummond this year. Obviously, another All-Star appearance. Yes, I'm calling it 21 and 15.
Fire emojis.
I'm predicting that he has made the improvements. The free throw percentage will be at 50. He added some hook shots to his game. 21 and 15, barring he gets the touches. That's the key. Because they do have guys that are going to take shots.
Oh, they're going to get him the ball. There's no way. He's still the best player on the team. Even with his limited offense, he's still the best. If they don't, Gundy will yell at them really bad and have them on the bench. I promise you.
He'll yell at him really bad.
Yes, really bad.
Because we know he does that.
Yes.
True. It's true.
He's a
Dwight
yellow,
Howard
Shaq
couldn't-
says.
yeah, Dwight Howard couldn't take it.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to wrap us up for tonight. Thank you guys for coming on. I know for all those who want to catch replays, audio, and all that, you can find us on iTunes.
Yep.
Just go to podcast, search Unquestionably Raw. Boom, we'll be right there. And then Wednesday, we will be previewing the New York Knicks, and our special guest will be Peter Vesey. So everybody be looking out for that one Wednesday at 9 Eastern. And then on Friday, we will be previewing the Chicago Bulls. So Gonzo and I will be waiting for that one. I got a couple of guys coming on from Chicago for that one as well.
Nice.
So that's going to be interesting to get their takes on the Bulls with all the interesting moves they made in the offseason. So until Wednesday night, we will see you later.
Bang.